Welcome to World's Finest, the weekly DC Comics review. I am Phil, and with me once again is...
Starfire! Oh my gosh, DC Week, DCU, YOU, Week 2. What do you think, Phil?
There was some good, there was some not so good.
I think there was more good than bad this week, though, so that's a win.
Yeah, I think this week was better than last week. Most of it bad stuff, or at least a bad character in most of the stuff. I don't know, maybe that's it.
But as we learned in Convergence, you can make a bad issue.
Yeah, let's start with Harley Quinn 17. Wasn't bad, it was more of the same that we've got from this series, but I don't know, maybe I'm expecting too much from this character, but doesn't it seem like there's not like a lot of, I'm going to say personal growth, but am I expecting too much from characters like Harley?
This iteration of Harley and this team of writers, definitely. So, yeah, you just kind of have to take it for the wacky fun in it all. And, come on, they're making double entendre beaver jokes. So, you're going to have to take everything about this with a grain of salt at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like somebody watched Naked Gun the night before they had to turn in their final draft of this or something.
But it's like that every issue, though.
I mean, it hasn't been, bad and in your faces. I think this is, where I kind of draw the line with Harley Quinn. I just kind of want to get back to basics with her. I just miss that old Batman animated series kind of vibe of Harley.
Where the only skin you saw was her face.
Exactly. Well, it's not even about the skin. It's just her antics are way too much. And, I just miss the seriousness. I mean, she was she had a PhD in psychiatry, and now we've just kind of reduced her to this. It's just a shame. She's such a great female character. I just wish they do more with her. Yeah,
they're just trying to make her a funny, sexy anti-hero, I guess.
It's like they want her to be Deadpool, and that's just not the basis and background of the character. You can't just up and decide to make your own female version of Deadpool on a character. If you want that, create a new character.
And usually don't see Deadpool running around in his underwear.
Well, there's been a few issues. I mean, it is Deadpool. So.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I'm really kind of surprised by Amanda Conner. Like, the first couple of issues were really good, and they've just kind of devolved into this wacky mess. And I think this is coming off my pull list.
Yeah, I'm trying to make that decision, because it just seems like, the first couple issues, they set up the story, they added some stuff, and then it just seems like they've been, I don't know, hovering in the same spot for the last, 10 issues at least?
At least. I also wasn't a fan of the art that was provided by Chad Harden. Like, I don't know, this is too smooth or something for a Harley Quinn book, especially this particular Harley Quinn. So it's just it didn't really fit with what I wanted, what I've been expecting and stuff. And then the cover, which shocked me that Amanda Conner, who also wrote the story, did. I was just it looked a little lazy. The variant cover, I wish I could have found.
Oh, is that the one with the Joker?
Yeah, it's the Joker variant. That's all, I guess.
Is that a new revelation? She was talking about how she had 3 kid brothers.
Yeah, that is something new. I think, you know what? That might be what rubbed me the wrong. I don't know. After all this time, suddenly we feel like we're gonna just bring up all this. I don't like retcons. So this is a retcon in the worst way.
Yeah. So what did you rate it?
This is a 2 1/4.
Ooh. I must be feeling charitable. I was thinking 3.
That's why I love you, Phil.
Why, thank you, ma'am.
You're sugar and spice. Literally.
Oh, wait, we're not through the pile yet.
Okay, well, where do you want to go next in this pile?
Well, I was going to go to Catwoman next, but before we dive into this, can you tell me why Harley Quinn was $3.99 and Catwoman's $2.99?
Because it's Harley Quinn? The best-selling female title they have at this point?
Oh, okay. Ka-ching. Okay.
I mean, that's what I'm assuming, right?
I guess.
I mean, that's all that I can really think of. It's people that like this issue, they buy it, no matter the price. Even with that special cover with the scratch and smell issue people bought.
Yeah. I just noticed that because they were right on top of each other, and it's 2 female bad villains.
Well, this particular Catwoman, as critically acclaimed as it is, it's underread and promoted. And it's a shame because, and I haven't even been I think I left this particular version of Catwoman in issue 32. But since I'm trying to catch up until they actually reboot this character again, I was like, maybe maybe they made this 41 issue a good jumping off point after post convergence. I was wrong. I was totally lost. Had no clue what was going on. So.
Well, yeah, This story started a couple issues before convergence. So yeah.
I mean, other than that, I thought it was smartly written. I love the art. It was just like I just couldn't follow the story. I'll definitely have to go back and start at the beginning of this particular arc, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been?
Yeah, I've been reading it. I like the story, but I see where you're coming from. Where it's hard to follow because I've been reading like every issue of this arc, and it's like every time a name gets brought up, I'm like, okay, that's this one. Okay, that's this one. I mean, they throw a lot of names at you.
Yeah. Like I said, I really did like the art though. Which was by David Messina, I think. Right? Yeah. And then the cover was by Kevin Wada. Have you ever watched the show Pamela Anderson was in it? It's called VIP. I don't know if you remember.
I may have seen one or two, but I wasn't like a regular viewer.
Yeah, well, this cover reminds me of one of the characters who was the granddaughter of a mafioso boss, and she had to like take his place for a day. That's what this cover kind of is like giving me. Because apparently she's like the head chick in charge of the Gotham crime scene.
Well, one of the crime families, because wasn't in Batman Eternal, she found out her real father, was an old mobster.
Yeah, so then it's like, why do you feel the need to go back as Catwoman? I guess because the title's Catwoman. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out past.
Yeah, because when they started this arc, like she wasn't Catwoman. She was just running the family, and she had that other girl running around as Catwoman. So.
Okay.
The last issue before Convergence, she's like, well, I have to be both.
Of course, because everybody has to have a dual identity. It's a comic book! Unless you're John Constantine, just saying.
So what did you give this one?
I gave this a 3.5, even though I didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm good. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and start at the start of this arc and give Catwoman some.
Yeah, I knew what was going on. I still gave it 3.5. I mean, it's decent. I'm not saying this is horrible, but I don't know.
It's a different take for Catwoman. I can appreciate them trying something. I mean, I really never did like that dominatrix hooker situation he had, so.
But anyway, I don't know. I think it just needs a little more action. There are a few issues in this arc that you get some gunplay and stuff, but it's just like most of the issues. It's like, well, they're on the brink of war. They're on the brink of war. It's like, well, let's see some.
It's like Gotham without the final shootout.
Yeah, I think a lot of their comic book choices are getting influenced by Gotham.
Unfortunately. No offense, Mr. Before.
We'll never say that show's a perfect show. Yeah, I know you wouldn't touch this one, but Red Hood Arsenal #1.
I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this. I've heard some good things and some bad about this particular.
Well, the one complaint I had about the last series was too many aliens and stuff. I thought the team needed to be more grounded, more Earth-based stuff. And we're always basically on a stakeout between us, the CIA, and I don't know who this guy is, but it's like a prisoner exchange. But I don't know, when the deal's about to go bad, Roy jumps in, but then he realizes, who's this guy? It was supposedly an old senator, but it was basically Jason in disguise. And I don't know, the whole thing, it's just Jason's just like, oh, what, you're all depressed because Starfire left? He's like, suck it up.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and then the CIA agent gives them her card, and she's like, well, if you want to go legit, we can use you. And so I don't know if they're going to be Black Ops CIA or whatever now.
Okay, so this is what I heard the idea for this book was. It was a buddy comedy. That's like the word. It's supposed to be like Archer and Armstrong a little bit.
Maybe. I didn't see much comedy in this one, but I could see maybe they might be going in that direction.
Isn't this Scott Lobdell?
Yes.
What'd you give it?
I'll give it 2.5.
Is this going to stay on your pull list and hoping that it gets better, or you just stopping here?
I'm going to give it probably in at least 2 more issues. We'll see where they go with this whole CIA angle.
Okay, let's talk about something that I know you probably didn't read. Section 8, #1.
No, I didn't.
This one, I had to pick it up because it was a #1. If you've never read stuff like Hitman, then it's probably like you don't know what to expect with this one. I don't know. I didn't like it at all. I don't understand where any of this is coming from. It's kind of goofy and wacky, I guess. This isn't the 60s and the early 70s. We kind of established the status quo of Batman, and everybody pretty much likes it, except for the Jim Gordon thing. So, yeah. It's basically like supposed to be like the greatest superhero team ups of all time, and like from the series Hitman. And so it's just like we got six packs returning to Gotham City, and I didn't read the previous one, so it was just like literally. But this is only a 6-issue miniseries, so thank God for that. I was surprised it was Garth Ennis. I usually like a lot of the stuff that he does. The art was by John McCrea, and I was just like, and the cover, oh my God, Amanda Connors is just not having a good week with me in covers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess if you were reading Hitman, you might like this. But for anybody else, probably stay away. This is a 2. Like I said, you can't make a bad Bat issue.
Oh, here's an interesting one. I don't think you read this one. Earth 2 Society #1.
Oh, I had to read it, unfortunately, so we could bounce opinions off of one another. If you hadn't bought it, I wouldn't have bought it. I'll put it to you that way.
I found it kind of interesting, but I guess maybe because there was a lot of Dick Grayson in it. I mean, I'll put it this way. I'm interested enough to give it, another 2 or 3 issues.
Is this supposed to be a main title, or is this a mini-series? Do we know yet?
I'm not sure. Well, they had an Earth 2 main book before, so...
Yeah, like I said, it was, sure, people liked it, but it didn't sell. Earth 2 really didn't sell a lot of titles, a lot of comic books, so...
You think, well, maybe that's why they introduced the new Batman, maybe?
Maybe.
As we know, kids, Batman sells.
Yeah, but he's getting stretched to the max, almost. It's like what happened to Superman after the death of Superman, where they wanted to break it up into all these titles, and if you're making these issues $3.99, $4.99, I'm not gonna be able to, I don't think that I agree with that, and I won't keep up with all the titles that have him in it. It's almost gonna be impossible at this point.
Yeah, I just find it interesting that it's a Dick Grayson Batman who was never Robin or Nightwing.
Yeah, then that is an interesting kind of backstory. It's like, then why are we rooting for him? I feel that way we know that he's tried and true, and that he definitely is worthy of it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have that particular backstory, it's like, might as well be Jim Gordon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I mean, he's had the tragedy. He lost his Barbara Gordon.
Oh, a girl. The tragedy of losing a girlfriend. Who is this? Ray Palmer on Arrow?
Oh.
Just saying.
So what, they only have, 12 cities on this planet? Because didn't they say they built the cities out of the escape ships or whatever?
Yeah. It's interesting to see if they walk away from that particular idea.
Yeah, and I guess Mr. Terrific rebuilt Dick Grayson because his back was broken or whatever.
I don't know. I guess it had to do a lot of exposition, I suppose. So I guess I'll definitely give this 3 more issues for a total of 4. I don't like the heroes that we're following. I guess I have to see with more interaction, but we'll see in the coming issues. The dialogue was very flat and bland and basic, and I just turned in the page oh my God, is this the last page or not?
I don't know. I just think maybe they just had to do a lot of world building this first issue, literally. So I'm almost afraid what you gave it.
2.5 for me. I hope now that the world building is out of the way and we can get some spicy stuff going, maybe next issue will be better.
I'll go to 3.5, but maybe just because I'm a Dick Grayson groupie. I don't know. You want to do Constantine the Hellblazer next?
Out of curiosity, why did you decide to pick up Constantine the Hellblazer?
I was reading the last series, and like I told you, I've been picking up the first series through the trades they've been putting out. I think I'm 100 some issues, 100 and some issues into the first series. And I like the first series, Hellblazer. But I think it's very ironic that they named this Constantine the Hellblazer, because I think it's kind of in between the two. It's not quite as good as Hellblazer, but it's better than Constantine.
You know what? Honestly, I liked Constantine the best in the New 52 when he showed him Justice League Dark. And I definitely think that they did give this name as kind of a happy medium between the two, because it is definitely edgier, but not as edgy as the Vertigo.
That was my thought, that they were trying to go and trying to make it closer to the Hellblazer run.
I will say it felt a bit overwritten. They kept hammering home their point and their themes, over and over and over again. I was like, dude, I'm not 3. You don't have to hold my hand. I get it. I can read subtext in between the lines.
I know how many times that. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but how many times they have to mention he's bisexual? Okay, we get it.
They're like, see, we brought that back, and it's in your face. This is nothing like the TV show.
Ooh, look, page 1, naked Constantine.
Other than that, I definitely like
Yeah.
If we could get some of the original folks, back into the fold, just even for like 3 arc issues, I think that's what kind of.
Yeah, but do you think they're gonna let them go as gritty as they'd want to though?
I think once it's like they get established, like say 6 to 10 to 12 issues, they might. Because that's what Constantine readers really want, and I think that's what they kind of realize, but they have to ease in. Because this is a brand new, we're starting from, scratch because it's number 1. So they want to ease the people in that were curious about Constantine. And then once they're comfortable, boom! Hit them with that grit and that macabre sense of wonder. Like, that's what I'm with.
But, I mean, this one's rated teen plus. Do they have any mature books, DC, anymore?
I believe not. Something that I really kind of liked about one of the panels is that you could tell it was definitely like Dante's Inferno inspired. And I thought that the way the panel layout was, it was just really nice. And I loved all the purple. That's not really a color you see a lot in the main titles. Like the way that it was shaded and colored. So it's very distinctive already.
Did you like that the 2 pages that went what do I say, sideways, where they showed you the 9 circles?
Yeah, did you like it?
I don't know, it confused me at first because I think, one panel you're going left to right, and then I think the next one you're going right to left, and then left to right, right to left, and kept switching back.
I like when they spice it up personally. Art was by Riley Rossmo, and I like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. Mean Doyle was the person that wrote this. Hopefully this is only like a 6 to 9 arc, because I want to see some more established comic book writers kind of come in on this and have fun with it and get Constantine back to where he needs to.
Do you want to see him interact with the DC universe more?
Not really. Justice League Dark kind of burnt me out on that a little bit. I mean, the only person I really want to see him interact with is Santana. So
I knew you were going to say that.
That's like my crack ship of all crack ships, right? I mean, if you're not going to give her a title, just put her in Constantine. I don't know.
There you go. Well, I think I'm giving this a 4. What would you give it?
I gave it a 4.5. It's definitely room for improvement. But again, this is an issue number 1. You have to expect the exposition and the world building and the hints of all the little breadcrumbs that they want to lead you into, the first arc's plot. I
didn't read it, but do you want to do Gotham Academy next?
Do I?
What issue was this? Was it 7?
Yeah, it was Gotham Academy number 7. Written by Becky Cloonan, and the art was by Maginge Helen Chin. And the cover was also by the writer Becky Cloonan. So we get a special guest student by the name of Damian Wayne who swings by the academy. And of course, he's a sour, dour, bitter little boy who cannot stand. I like Gotham Academy. Like I was saying last week, it's like the only fun title that are like literally for kids. 10 plus, I'd say. And it's kooky. It's kind of like Harry Potter. So I like it a lot. And Damien's just dark demeanor just kind of just ruined the issue for me. I mean, I just want to see him just for once be a kid. You know what I mean? Just have some fun. That's all that I'm saying. We had a spotlight. If you're reading Gotham Academy, then you're probably really happy with the spotlight for the secondary character Map. And then she's actually the only person that really got Damian Wayne to thaw out. So I thought that was fun, but they could have explored that a little more. I don't know. The panels can be a little disorienting. Like, I don't think that they know, they haven't quite gotten down the, spatial hand-eye coordination situation in some cases. So it's just, a little overwhelming at times. But, I don't know. It wasn't as bad a story as I thought it was. I was just like, man, do we have to have guest stars now in comic books? Instead of a team-up, it's just hey, guest star. This is not TV. Let a comic book be a comic book, for the love of God.
So Damien's a full-time student then there?
He's going to go back to wherever hole he crawled out of.
Well, I was going to say, he's getting his own book, and I think he's traveling the world, so I was just wondering how the continuity...
Yeah, he's doing the thing that we want Gotham to do with Bruce Wayne. And it pisses me off so bad. That's probably why I'm such a hater. It's like everything I want for Gotham's young Bruce Wayne, Damian is doing.
Well, it's his son.
I'll give this one a 3.5. But this book, like I said, it's definitely all age adventure. If you have kids that are like 7, 8, 9, they really might, and they like Harry Potter, they really actually might enjoy this. The only way to keep kid titles speak with your wallet. So I just kind of want to encourage everybody to definitely, if you have kids, try to get them in.
Let's do Batman next. Batman 41.
I'll just come out and say it though. I'm not fully sold on Jim Gordon as Batman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not fully sold either, but I don't know. I think Snyder said it. It kind of makes me a little bit interested what he said. How is the public going to react to this new Batman now that he's not a masked outlaw, but he's like basically an employee of the city?
Haven't we done something like this before?
Yeah, it was called RoboCop.
Okay, thank you. I'm not crazy. Which, by the way, I just watched the remake, and I actually liked it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I heard some good things about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
You know, my biggest problem, too, is it's a little bit of the zaniness, but, I mean, I guess it's just that combination of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. So, you know, it kind of reminds me of that 0-year run, maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, plus I think they're trying to show that Gordon's not Bruce Wayne, so he's not as dark, but can you tell me why he had to shave the mustache?
You had to get rid of the flavor saver in case, you know, for punches. It's easier to stitch yourself up if you don't, you know, have a face warmer.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so Harvey Bullock was having a conversation with him about being the next Batman. Just remember that when we get to Detective Comics, okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't we just have that conversation?
Yeah.
I am looking forward to how this spills into Batgirl and Grayson, though, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because he's definitely showing up in Batgirl. I saw that, yeah. And I think they said Grayson's gonna, you know, I guess he's gonna show everybody he's alive and come back, but it's like, then why wouldn't you take over then?
Convenient plot point is convenient.
And spoiler alert, that last page, you think that's Bruce Wayne?
I would assume so. I mean, they can't keep people... I don't know, like, they have to bring him back into the fold pretty quickly if they actually do want to have any kind of continuity by the time Darkseid Wars is over, right?
Yeah, so do you think he has amnesia or something?
Oh, dear God, you know it is, right? Isn't that like the go-to thing?
It has to be something like that, because why wouldn't he tell anyone, you know, like Alfred or anyone he was alive? Rating?
I want to say a 4, but like I said, the zaniness just does not belong in the Bat title. Save it for something else. So it's a 3.5. Although the artwork was gorgeous.
I'll go to the 4 then, I guess.
Although I really wish we'd get rid of those damn tick ears.
Yeah, I guess they want ears to look like Batman, but it doesn't look like Batman. Alright. Let's go to Detective Comics 41. One of my 2 big problems of the week. Well, not the whole issue, just something...
Oh, okay, I was going to say, wow, Phil!
No, once again, a continuity problem, because, like we just said, Jim Gordon was having a conversation with Harvey Bullock and Batman about being the next Batman, but meanwhile, in Detective Comics, Harvey doesn't seem to know anything about this. I'm just saying the writers should talk to each other, because it just seems like in Batman, you know, Harvey, even if he doesn't know Jim made the decision, it seems like he at least thought he was thinking about it. In this, it seems like he has no idea that Jim Gordon was even thinking about being Batman.
It's like Convergence. It's like you didn't know what the hell, who knew what and what character. Was that the same character from that one? Like, yeah, they need to spell it out a little better.
Yeah, let's get these writers' meetings.
Or at least, they should have the same people working together. At least one member from each team, you know what I mean? Or something. Memos or something.
I mean, don't they have like writer summits or something where they say, okay, this is
obviously they don't.
I guess.
I mean, they used to. I mean, I know for a fact they used to, but it doesn't seem like that anymore. Everybody's just all willy-nilly with everything.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, remember back in the day, like with the Superman books, where it was basically just like all 4 books were basically just one big book every week.
Yeah, and that like I said, that was kind of my problem, where it's just like they just literally wanted to split it into 4 books for more money. And this definitely kind of sort of starts to feel like that, only without the continuity.
It's even worse.
I'm here for Harvey Bullock and Renee Montoya, though. That's the best thing about this particular issue for me. Not even Batman. That's a shame.
Batman really wasn't the focus. The focus was on Bullock and to a lesser degree Montoya, but so
3.5. Which way would you give it?
I'm giving it a 3. I know DC doesn't have continuity anymore, but it's giving me problems.
I want to shout out the cover, though. I thought that the cover was great. Like, they had, like, the map of Gotham County.
Yeah. That would be a cool poster.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know. I'm willing to give Francis Manapul a few more issues, but I don't know. I don't really like this Jim Gordon thing. He did the whole thing by himself, the art and the cover, so kudos on that.
Well, it's like I was telling Tyler, they better not stretch this Jim Gordon thing out longer than like 6 to 8 months.
I agree, sir.
Because, I mean, between Batman, Detective, he shows up a little bit in Batman, Superman. 6 months or so is a plenty of time.
I guess I want to talk about Starfire. I know you probably didn't read it.
No.
It's a ladies' title, so I kind of feel obligated to. And I do actually like the character of Starfire, so I guess I just was like, all right, let's.
Yeah, but have you liked new 52 Starfire?
She's been iffy at best, but with her own title, and I feel like this might be a good way to explore the character and give her the complexity and depth that she definitely needs. She's more than just a suit of spandex with midriff. So I just hope, I think that's why I kind of want to read this and see if that's what they actually want to do, or if they're just going to make her Harley Quinn 2.0. It's, Starfire's a fish out of water, and I always kind of have a soft heart for that. They are kind of dealing with the situation that happened with the Quarry from the New 52. So, they're trying to rectify those issues. And that's a shame that they just didn't start fresh, that she has that baggage already.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I like the artwork. I like the story. It's going to be a slow burn, I'd say, before we really get into anything fun and interesting. This is the title you can be zany on. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that. But I feel like it's going to be definitely a slow burn. So I'll give it 3 or 4 issues. It's definitely on the pull list for that amount of time. Who was in charge of it?
I'm sorry. What did you rate it?
Oh, this one is definitely a 4.
Ooh.
Everything kind of worked in tandem together. If you don't mind the exposition for issue 1, it's definitely a good story. Great setup. And if you were following her previous adventure with her team before this, then you probably already are picking this up. Amanda Connor did this, wrote the story, did the cover. So finally, she gets a win with me. And then the art was by Emanuela Lupacchino. So yeah, they're basically the same people that did Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the new This has the potential to be the new Wonder Woman, maybe even. Since they're I feel like they're trying to phase Wonder Woman out, because a lot of the times her stories are she's in her own little pocket of the universe of DC. And then with this Darkseid War thing, it's I don't know. I just have this really weird feeling about that they're trying to really do something drastic with Wonder Woman. It's not a good feeling. Are you reading the Wonder Woman titles at all? Do you know what I mean at all?
No.
Yeah, if you were reading them, I think you would kind of understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I kind of figure, I've always thought of Wonder Woman sorry to use the Marvel reference, but kind of like Thor, where she could be off on in another world somewhat for a couple months, and then.
Yeah, and I have no problem with it. That's why I've actually probably kind of liked the Wonder Woman titles, where she's actually off dealing with her own situation in her home, on her homeland, and becoming the God of War and all that stuff. Well, the Goddess of War and all that stuff. So because I don't know, she just feels too good for the rest of DC. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? She just has a higher calling, kind of like Aquaman. I don't really like Aquaman in Justice League a lot of the time, because he gets really sidelined. Mm-hmm. And it's well, hell, we could have just had an Atlantis adventure instead of this crap. So I kind of feel that same way about Wonder Woman. I'd much rather her be solo and focus on her, because she's such a great character. I like Starfire. Like I said, it's a very Wonder Woman-y vibe, the good parts of Wonder Woman. So if you're into alien warrior princesses kicking butt, you definitely pick it up.
Well, I still have Batman, Superman.
I vaguely know what's going on. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to what you have to say about it. The truth.
Don't get me started on the truth. The continuity is just getting worse and worse. Because remember last week I said, this is part 2, and part 1 doesn't seem like it's coming out to the end of the month.
Oh, did they keep going?
Oh, okay. Well, after Superman has his fist fight in the beginning, and why is he wrapping his cape around his knuckles? I don't know. But a cop shows up, But he says, I know you, Sergeant. He's like, you stood up for me against your superior, and the note says, don't miss Action Comics 42 for the full story of this. And it's like, that's next month. So I thought this was part 3, but what now? I'm so confused.
You know what? I stopped reading Batman Superman. It's like, I love Greg Pak, right? Mm-hmm. He does great work on Action Comics, and then like it's so generic, the stuff that he's been turning out for Batman Superman. Like, I just can't reconcile the two.
Yeah, but with a book like Batman Superman, is it just that you can't have like any long-lasting effects on either character? Because then they'd have to show it in their solo books, and how DC is with continuity these days.
Honestly, that's the only thing that I will say that they did get right when they did decide after the death of Superman to make those 4 books. They made sure everything flowed, and I don't understand why we can't do that anymore. I don't like they're your 2 big characters. Get everybody together that's working on it, artists included, and work something out.
When they did that back in the day, I think that's what they did. They had yearly summits, and they planned out the year. And they're like, okay, you guys, it'd be like, you guys in Batman, you'll get part 1 of this story. You guys in Detective, you'll get part 2 of this story.
Yeah, I don't think they've done that in a long time, and it shows.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should definitely get back to basics. I think what it is, too, is that they're so intent getting the big names now and not, like, giving, new people a chance, really, is that once you get such a big name, well, it's just that's what's drawing people to really that and the character to your book. So it's just like, hey, we'll give you this leeway. We're not going to tell you how to do your job.
Yeah, and you get that big superstar. Are they going to tell them, okay, well, you're just going to do like the middle arc of this other guy's run? And
exactly. So I think that's another thing that they might kind of developing in-house talent that are team players. What'd you give this?
3.5.
Okay, so once you're able to get the whole arc in its actual sequential order, do you think you're gonna grade it a little better?
Maybe. It's just so confusing because, like I said, I don't think we've gotten part 1 yet, and then there's another issue that comes before this one from this week that comes out next month. So.
Wait, does this thread run through Superman and Wonder Woman too?
I think it said it's supposed to. Yeah, I think it said it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Any book Superman appears in, it's happening. Superman, Action, Batman, Superman, and Superman, Wonder Woman. I'm pretty sure.
I want to ask you one more thing, though. Sorry.
Okay.
What was the interaction between Batman and Superman like? Was it cordial? Was it?
Not a lot, because they go to Gotham. Well, he goes with Lex to Gotham City. He basically gets in a fight. Batman and Superman basically get in a fight, and Superman runs. And he's like, I know that's not Bruce. Yeah, he knows it's not Bruce, so he runs, he goes to the cave, he goes to the back cave, and he sees Alfred, and Alfred tells him Bruce is dead. And he's like, and Alfred tells him, if there's one thing you can do for him, don't go dark like he did, be like, you were always the light to his dark. And Alfred it's basically an estate sale, but Alfred's like, anything you need out of the cave, go ahead and take it.
Wow.
Yeah, so later on he takes one of the Bat motorcycles after he spray paints it red.
Look, tell me when he gets whatever, like, other than Casual Friday Superman, okay? Call me when that's over with.
Yeah, and then then he's on the phone with Lois, and it's just like, ugh.
Oh, whoa, okay, so now you can give the grade. I'm sorry, I'm just really curious about this, because it looks and sounds awful. I haven't really heard anybody who likes it, so.
Yeah, like I said, 3.5, that's generous.
Okay.
Did you get any more books this week?
Of course, I got to pitch Scooby-Doo. Where are you, number 58? Dude, I know it's goofy and it's silly, but, like, honestly, the artwork is so, like, true to form to the cartoon, and they're just great little fun adventures. Like I said, we really, like, don't have anything to give to the kids, so I don't know. I like it for what it is.
Did you want to grade it?
It's hard to grade. It's Scooby-Doo. Either you like it or you don't, I guess. And it's always kind of like in the 3 to 4 range for me because I'm way too old and I already know who did it. But it's still fun sitting there.
It's basically just a must-read for the kids.
Yeah.
You know what else? I get one more thing I did get. It was Arrow Season 2.5, number 9. Ugh. The guy trying to kill Oliver because his father fired his father.
I'm like, didn't we do that in the TV show already? Like, I mean, I'm so far ahead of it because I buy them digital first that I'm just like vaguely remembering what you're talking about. It's like way back in like the.
I liked it better than like the last couple issues. I'd probably give it another 3.5.
And this is the cover with shirtless Oliver, right? And the compression belt.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing about this issue.
It's like, so I guess him and Roy go to Leanne Yu then?
Yeah. It's just like everything's such a moot point though. Like I just wanted to go back to how it used to be, I guess, where we didn't have to like explain stuff about stuff we didn't really need to know.
So basically go back to the...
Like, the other stuff was really pertinent. The first run was really pertinent and interesting. It had really good backstory on a lot of people. I will say that I think it jumped the shark. The first time that the first run issue jumped the shark was when we saw Felicity smoke on a date. I absolutely hated that. That's not what the comic book is for. just saying. Anyway, oh yeah, we should remind people that there is a new Suicide Squad number 9 out. It's not on my pull list, and I don't think it will ever be on my pull list.
Yeah.
This is not the Suicide Squad that I want to see. It's just basically Assault on Arkham, right?
I didn't get it either, but I assume, yeah, isn't it Harley? Is it Deadshot?
Like Black Manta, King Shark or something. It's literally Assault on Arkham, and I'm like...
Seriously, give me the good old days.
So yeah, that is what the offerings for DC YOU, we too had to give us.
They hope you like them.
I can't wait to see the Diamond chart. I'm curious.
Yeah, I wonder because Marvel's in the middle of Secret Wars too, so I'm wondering. It's probably gonna look like a weird graph. Like I bet you some of these books will be high, and the other ones are just gonna go
flatline.
Yeah.
I definitely think though the number ones might do pretty good though, because I definitely think people are trying to find a jumping on point for some things in DC. So we'll see.
Shameless plugs and self-promotion. Ladies first.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. You can find me on Tumblr. It's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. And please be sure to check out my blog, littlepopculture.blogspot.com. A safe haven for comic book geeks and pop culture junkies alike. I also co-host a ton of Southgate Media Group podcasts. I do Queen Consolidated and Flashpoint, which are Arrow and Flash podcasts respectively. I do Channel 52, which is a DC comic books related catch-all kind of situation. And I also do Primatech Files with Ricky, which is a podcast dedicated to heroes and Heroes Reborn.
And you could get a hold of me, email me at nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm at nightwingpdp. And remember to like the World's Finest page on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/World's Finest Podcast. We're doing the fan fiction, the next episode of Before the Bat. You know, me, Tyler, Kelly is going to be young Bruce Wayne, and Ellie's going to be Selena Kyle.
Oh dear God. Like it's like from somebody that sent it in, or?
Well, we put out the word for the contest. It's like, you know, send it in, and I thought hopefully we'd get enough for the whole summer, but we got 2 entries.
Oh, and one more shameless plug and self-promotion, and it's for you, actually. Be sure to go to southgatemediagroup.com and read the blogs. Because I actually was reading the Flash Arrow one you did about the Seaford, and I kind of reviewed it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I do a Flash Arrow blog, I do a Batman blog, and I'm in with the guys like Rob from Nuff Said on the True Believers blog. Alright. Well, I think that's it for this week. Come back next week and see what we love, see what we don't love. This is World's Finest. Good night.